Hi, I want to welcome you back to A Woman's Evolution on Inspiring the World. This is my fourth message, and for me this is just really huge. One of the missions that I feel I've been called to do in this life is to share messages of hope and joy and truth with people as it evolves, even just from my own experience. As I've mentioned before in other video clips, I know I'm not the only one who goes through these things, and when I get these aha moments, I really just want to share, whether that is a great aha moment or it's a big part of my shadow. And I definitely have felt a big part of my shadow coming out over this past week. Currently, I am in a yoga teacher training course, and we started this last weekend. And last night, I started to really see that I was having a hard time settling into the experience emotionally. As I sat there in class and we started to get up and teach one another what we call sun salutations, I started to do it with a really positive attitude. And after about the 10th sun salutation, I started to notice the usual pain that comes up between on the right side of my back. I have a rib that kind of comes out of place, and it really causes me a lot of discomfort. So I sat down on my mat while everyone else continued to do their sun salutations, and I'm stretching and moving and trying to get that shoulder to just loosen up, or that rib, whatever was causing me the discomfort. And I was really getting pissed off at myself a little bit because I didn't see my back responding in the way I wanted to. I was just doing everything I could to get it to move, and I remember thinking in my mind, I am not going to let this beat me, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to just push myself through this, because I do not want to be the one who sits down. And it sounds really stupid and funny, but I got back up and started to do another sun salutation with the rest of the class. And I didn't even make it through that next salutation. I got right back down on the mat and kind of, not sulky or anything like that, but just kind of disappointed that I couldn't keep up, with everybody else. So I knew that there was no way I was going to get through the rest of the evening unless I had some help. And one of my instructors is a yoga therapist, and so I swallowed my pride and asked him to please come and help me get that back adjusted, because there was just no way I could do it the rest of the evening. So he started to work on me and do some maneuvering, and he said something to me that was just huge. And I know that other people have said this to me over time as I've practiced yoga and even in other areas of my life. And he said, "Carolyn, breathe." And in that moment, I had no idea that my body was tight, clenched, contracted. I was just literally, my jaw was tight, my shoulders were tight, almost like I was anticipating this huge battle, totally in this mode of fear, this fight response, which is very typical of my nature. I've just kind of grown up that way. And when he said that to me, I totally melted. And even though it was still painful, and eventually he was able to get my rib back into place much more, effortlessly than it typically does, the huge message for me was that I just needed to relax. And, most of my life I would beat myself up because maybe I didn't fit in the way I thought I should fit in, or maybe I didn't measure up the way I should have measured up, or at least my perceived notion of that. And I would just get really hard on myself. But last night I really felt this softening happen, and seeing a pattern in my life that I've been very tight and stubborn about things. So as I pondered on that last night and just journaled, crazy about it last night, I realized that most of my life has been about forcing things. And when it doesn't work, I just force it some more. And I think my body has been telling me for years to relax, to chill out, because I've had these little things pop up for years, but I've ignored them. I've pushed through them, because that's what you do. You push through. You're just tough. We've got to be tough. And yet I wasn't stopping to just have compassion for what was happening to myself. It was always the sense of, you're not good enough. Yes, you hurt, but you keep going. So for me, I felt this huge relief of what am I trying to prove, really? Why am I even in this training course? Why is it that I'm doing whatever I do? Am I trying to prove myself? And again, like I said, it's just been this whole process of learning that I don't have to prove anything. Just recently, to even bring this whole experience together, I had received a package from my plastic surgeons that had worked on me over the years since I was burned in my house fire. I'd never seen pictures of myself from the day that it had happened up into my young adulthood. And I have to admit, I was emotionally just floored when I saw this little girl and all she had gone through, because she was very intimately acquainted with pain. She knows pain. She knew pain. But her pain at the time taught her that she had to be a survivor, and that she had to fight, and that she had to force her life and force her way into whatever she wanted. And last night I really started to feel that crumble, that I don't have to prove anything. And that's how I feel about a lot of things now, that I don't have to. It doesn't mean I haven't implemented it yet. I'm still learning. But I share that message with you too, that we don't have to force anything. Just do the best we can and accept and embrace that where it is. It doesn't mean we settle for mediocrity, because that's not in my nature. But it does mean that I embrace the fact that this is where I'm at. And just like my rib wasn't going to go back into place until I settled down and chilled out, I see that now happening in the rest of my life. That when I decide to settle down and chill out, then life will start to flow to me, and I don't have to push so hard upstream to get to where I really want to be. And so that is my message that I want to share with you today, that you are good enough, and just be. Just simply be. Thank you.